Ozarks First on KOLR 10 News.
Well, what about all those warm temperatures today? They were wonderful, weren't they? Well, they're a thing of the past now. We've had a cold front that has swept across the area. In the wake of that front, cooler temperatures, some clouds. Skies still partly cloudy. Had some very gusty winds earlier this evening between about 5 and 7 o'clock here in the Springfield area. Those gusty winds have since shifted into the eastern Ozarks, but we'll likely find some gustier winds returning here later on tonight. Temperatures are cooling through the 50s, currently 54, and by morning, 39 degrees. You may need a jacket when you head out of the house in the morning. We'll start with sunny skies. By lunchtime, skies will become partly cloudy, and throughout the afternoon, we're going to find mostly cloudy skies. A cooler day with highs around 64. In fact, that's the theme going into the weekend, cooler. How cool? That's in your full forecast coming up. KOLR 10 News at 10 starts now.
You're watching KOLR 10 News at 10 in high definition.
Up first here on your news tonight, the polls are closed. The results are coming in, and Missourians have voiced their vote in today's presidential primary. Good evening once again, everybody. I'm David Oliver.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Kielman. KOLR 10 is your local election headquarters. We want to get straight to the current results here in Missouri. On the Republican side, a tight GOP race with Donald Trump 42% and Ted Cruz has 42%. Definitely a close race there. Coming in third, of course, John Kasich with 8% and Marco Rubio with just 5%.
On the Democratic side of the race, we've got 62% of precincts reporting at this hour. Bernie Sanders with about a 7-point lead right now over Hillary Clinton with 53% to 46%. We're going to be updating those results throughout this newscast. You'll see the very latest numbers scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Let's take a look at the breakdown of votes here in Greene County with 77 of 80 precincts reporting at this time. Ted Cruz has 51% of the vote. Donald Trump 32%. John Kasich came in at third at 8%. Marco Rubio has just 5%. And on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders has a dominant lead over Hillary Clinton, 61% to 38%.
There are 4 other states with primary elections happening today as well: Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, and Illinois. Want to take a look right now at the CBS News website, where you can see the magic number for the Republicans is 1,237 delegates. Donald Trump right now has 574 delegates, followed by Ted Cruz with 365. Now, if you scroll down there, you can see the states where each candidate has won. And when you hover your mouse over a state, you can see how that candidate did there in that particular state. Tonight, Donald Trump won Florida, and John Kasich won his home state of Ohio.
Yeah, and on the Democratic side, the magic number, 2,383 delegates, of which Hillary Clinton has 1,412 and Bernie Sanders has 638. You can see Clinton won Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina. And, of course, we'll be updating election results here in Missouri and around the country. You can find the very latest numbers on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
So clearly a lot going on. We have team coverage for you across the Ozarks tonight. Dr. Brian Calfano in our studio with more on what the primaries mean tonight to kind of break down the numbers for us. Brett Martin is at the GOP watch party, while Colin Lingo is at the Hillary Clinton watch party, and Lindsey Klein is at the Bernie Sanders camp for us tonight.
Now let's bring in KOLR 10 political analyst Dr. Brian Calfano to crunch the numbers. Close race tonight.
Very close. I mean, this is Super Tuesday 2, and in some ways, it's more super and more consequential for the candidates than we had 2 weeks ago. In Missouri, I think what the issue comes down to for Republicans is, does Donald Trump have the ability to close the deal with conservatives, those voters who are saying ideology matters, issue positions matter, consistency matters? These are all things that are going to be important to look for when we take a look at exit polling and how everything ends up after tonight. We'll know for sure by morning, I'm assuming, as to whether or not Cruz or Trump won. The issue, I think, with Trump is he has to find a way to effectively brand his campaign to conservative voters. And it looks as though Missouri is a bellwether on that conservative ideological test. Is it possible for Trump to win conservatives around the country? If he can't beat Cruz in Missouri, it would suggest conservatives, consistent conservatives, as you might see in polls, are going to side more with Cruz now that Marco Rubio is out of the race.
I was going to say, Rubio, as we mentioned earlier, he's out now and he's suspending his campaign. We heard Ted Cruz addressing his supporters just a few moments ago in Houston, Texas. He was basically saying, I've got my arms open for the Rubio supporters. Mm-hmm. Is he trying to get those folks to get behind him and lead him to the nomination now?
He certainly is, and the conventional wisdom is that, look, you've got Rubio supporters and Cruz supporters. They're not that different. If you look at exit polls and the polls that have been done up to this point, a lot of Donald Trump supporters come from outside the Republican Party. Independents or folks who may say they're Republican but haven't voted for a long time in a Republican primary. Those are the bases, if you will, for Trump's support.
Okay, now what's the takeaway tonight on the Democratic side?
I'd hate to say this because I'm sure we have a lot of viewers who voted for Bernie Sanders, but I just don't see mathematically with how well Clinton did tonight in Illinois, in Florida, and in North Carolina, that she's going to in any way be tripped up by this. Even if Sanders holds on and wins Missouri, it's not going to be enough to overcome the deficit she's got. When you factor in the superdelegates that the Democratic Party uses, she's got a 2-to-1 advantage over Sanders. I would expect by May she is the Democratic Party's official nominee.
Of course, we did see Bernie Sanders here over the weekend, and right now he's got a 7-point lead in Missouri, but still.
Not just counting Missouri.
No, it doesn't matter. But
it's a national race.
And nobody's calling Missouri just
Right.
yet, so we're still kind of waiting to see.
All right, Dr. Brian Calfano, always a pleasure. Thank you.
And of course, as you can imagine, several watch parties are happening across the Springfield area tonight as supporters gather to try and cheer on their particular candidate. We want to go out first to Brett Martin, live at Classic Rock Coffee off of Kansas Expressway at the Republican watch party tonight. Brett?
That's right, David. Things kind of quiet down right now. We had a lot of supporters out here, about 50, I would say. Excited watching the numbers roll in, but like I said, the party wrapping up now, but the race still nowhere near. I'm joined with Danette Proctor from the Greene County Republican Party. Danette, thanks for having us out here tonight. Very, very close race. Did you expect it to be this close?
No, I did not expect it to be this close. We expected Cruz to win in this area, but probably Trump statewide, but Cruz is they're neck and neck.
That close race, who does that benefit more, Trump or Cruz?
Well, Cruz, I think that's wonderful that Cruz is up there, and it'll be really interesting because our delegates are by congressional district. So when we see how the votes come in by the congressional districts, we'll know how our delegates will be bound.
Now, we saw him win by a large margin here. What do you think played a role in that?
He had boots on the ground, volunteers, he had a headquarter, and he was here. When that candidate is here, it brings out the votes.
Now, the work's not done in Missouri. You guys still have the caucus in April. Tell me a little bit about that and why that's important for the voters.
Yes, our caucus is the second Saturday in April, and at that caucus we will be electing delegates that go on to the congressional and the state conventions, and those delegates will be the ones that will be electing our 52 delegates to national.
And then after that, you guys throw your support behind the Republican nominee, and the work begins all over for the general, right?
That is right. That's
Cool.
right.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for letting us have out here. And again, the work continues. So again, out at Classic Rock in West Springfield, where some GOP supporters rallied around to see who was going to win, but again, too close to call. Reporting live in Springfield, Brett Martin, KOLR 10 News, Ozarks First.
All right, Brett Martin tonight. Thank you. Now let's head over to Coyote Adobe Cafe, where our Colin Lingo joins us now live from the Hillary Clinton watch party tonight. Colin?
Yeah, guys, we're out here at Coyote Adobe on Glenstone, and it's getting kind of late. A lot of people have gone home, but there is a dedicated crew back here who is sticking it out. Among them, Enoch Morris, who is not only the Southwest Missouri volunteer lead for the Hillary campaign, he's also a poll judge. You've been up since 4:30 this morning working those polls.
Yes, I did. I did work the James River West polling location, and we started about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it just has been going all day.
Now, Sanders is leading right now, but you say Hillary has what it takes to win the nation, huh?
Well, I would say certainly anybody that she has won Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina in one night. Not the fact that she's leading in Illinois. And, I'm not throwing in the towel on Missouri or Illinois or anything. I mean, she's still got a good chance to take all 5 of them, all 5 states.
Now, real briefly, why is she the better candidate? Just real brief.
Well, she's prepared. She's prepared. She's been tested. She's been, had the experience in all the different things that she's done in her. And she's a progressive that wants to get things done.
Well, there you have it. Out here at Coyote Adobe, reporting live, Colin Lingo, KOLR 10 News, Ozarks First.
And of course, you heard the opinion there of Mr. Morris. There are those who would beg to differ, who certainly are throwing their support behind Bernie Sanders. Our Lindsey Klein has been with that group tonight here in Greene County. What's happening there, Lindsey?
Yeah, David, we're at the local Bernie Sanders campaign headquarters in downtown Springfield, and the party here has wrapped up. But a lot of the supporters here tonight said they were feeling the burn, hoping Bernie Sanders can take the win over Hillary Clinton in the Show Me State. It's been a very tight race tonight, and many Bernie supporters here attended his rally Saturday and were very impressed by him and the way he carried himself, saying that maybe that could have been the deciding factor for local voters who may have been on the fence between Bernie and Hillary.
We're really excited about today. The momentum's been building. I think ever since the Iowa caucus, we've seen a shift in the Midwest. Then when we won Oklahoma, then Kansas and Nebraska, Missourians for Bernie really felt that there was genuine hope here. So tonight we're really feeling that.
I very much support Bernie because I see him as, one, he has a lot of integrity, and two, he is our best shot at fixing a lot of very systemic issues that are plaguing our democracy right now. Campaign finance and economic justice.
Still a tight race, but a lot of people here tonight have been cheering with Bernie ahead because many of them have spent a lot of hours and days holding signs like this on busy roads trying to win over votes for Bernie Sanders. Reporting live in Springfield tonight, Lindsay Klein, Color 10 News, Ozarks First.
Let's switch gears now. Take a look outside from our tower cam tonight. Quickly cooling off here in Springfield. Definitely need a jacket out there. And we could see colder temps this week and into the weekend. Jamie's in next with his forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching Color 10 News with David Oliver, Jennifer Kilman, weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner, and sports with Dan Lucy. This is Color 10 News at 10.